Hi, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Carolina Rides. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for joining us. You've already found the secret, haven't you? You know that our YouTube page is at Carolina Rides WSPA. We're also up on Facebook at Carolina Rides and Instagram, Carolina Rides Official WSPA. If you have any questions, any ideas for shows you want publicized, or maybe there's just a cool ride you think would make a good subject, feel free to drop me a line. We actually do get to some of them along the line. Obviously, time means we may not get to everybody immediately, but we do our best. And also don't forget that you can also find this show streaming on our WSPA Plus streaming app. You will find that available for smart TVs. We've got special guests today. We have got from the Corvette owners of Upstate South Carolina, both Pat Clark and Ron Gentry. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing amazing.
All right. You've got a big show coming up. We're going to get to that here in just a little bit. That'll be gracing the Lake Keowee area in Seneca here in mid-April. First off, let's talk a little bit about your club. How long have you guys been involved? How long has the club been going? And what are some of the things, other than these shows, that you guys are involved in?
Yeah, so the club originated in 2022. I actually was there from kind of the beginning, and it's been an amazing journey. Ron's done a fantastic job with the club, and it's an honor, really, to be a part of it.
Ron, how'd you get involved?
Wanting to be around like-minded people, car people, Corvette people. When I got my car, I looked for a place to go or hang out, and most of the clubs had politics involved, this, that, and other, fees, dues, and stuff you had to do, you couldn't do. I just wanted to create a place for everybody to come and be with us if they wanted to. If they didn't have to be. There's no rules, no dues, no fees. Just come hang out and have a good time.
About how many people are in your club right now?
Honestly, we have close to 2,000 in the group, the Facebook group, but we have a core membership of, I'd say, 50 people that attend, that do stuff with us regular. We have, I'd say, 10 members that are hardcore, and they show up for everything. But we have people from out of state, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. People come from the beach. Our group is all over the upstate.
Now, you have got a show coming up in April, and let's talk a little bit about that and how it got started.
Pat, you want to?
Yeah, so basically when Ron was doing this, he got presented the opportunity to take over Corvettes at Keowee. And so it was a real cool opportunity for him to get involved, like he has been, with the community. And he has a unique way of bringing the community together. And there was a gentleman that was running the show. And Ron, tell a little bit about the gentleman, because I think that's a unique story there.
His name is Barry. I just forgot his last name that quick. He owns Vet City. It's a car lot that sells only Corvettes in Seneca. Anyway, he approached me, and he was having a time with continuing the show due to his family, wanting to spend time with his kids and just life in general. And he'd asked me if we would take over a year prior, and I turned it down. But then the second time he asked, I figured, what the heck, might as well do it. Mm-hmm. And it gives me a chance to grow my club and do what I wanted to do for the community.
Yeah. And Barry, so Barry Blakely started it in 2017, did a phenomenal job with it. And then so Ron, you really came in, and the first show was phenomenal. Downtown Seneca was able to fill both sides of the road, and it was a community involvement, right? We had all walks of life there. We had kids. It was a great time, and Ron, you really did a great job because the 50-50 raffle, there was a lot of things there, not just for the Corvette owners, but for folks in the community that can get involved as well. We got, the DJ really brought people in, and, we had vendors there. So a lot of the sponsors were able to, get involved. And a couple of our sponsors are V8 Muscle and then ProTech Auto Detailing. And Ron, talk a little bit about the sponsors as well.
Well, let's see. We got our DJ is Misdirection, which is Rabbit's buddy, the fellow that's passed. Christian Lingenfelter supports us. Billy Boat Exhaust. Troy's Mufflers. Man, there's a few more I can't think of right now, but we got some really good ones, and we're always looking for more to help with the show and donate door prizes.
Well, let me help you out a little bit with reminding what some of the sponsors and some of the people involved here, because here's the flyer you guys have got for that show, which is April 18th. So, okay, somebody wants to bring the Corvette out, somebody wants to come out and just maybe see what's out there. Let's tell us about a little bit what they're going to see and just how people can get involved.
Oh, well, we're going to have lots of beautiful Corvettes. There's no fee for the public. Just show up and enjoy yourself. There'll be food trucks. Like I said, the DJ, he's great. He keeps the atmosphere going. We'll have a 50-50 raffle. We'll have some door prizes. And there'll be food trucks. Chalk's Barbecue will be there. Southern Sippin' and Wagons. We'll have food. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and French fries, and pulled pork, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this runs from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Now, is there something where there's going to be some awards for this? Yeah, I say plaques for all 8 gens and best of show. So there you go. Who's judging that?
Misdirection, the DJ, they furnish the judges for the show. That's included with on their part of the deal. They take care of that, so nobody in our club is judging. We like to make sure it's done, and there's no way anybody can say it was any unfair judging, so we just let somebody else do it completely. That's not in.
Smart move. Smart move.
No, I've learned the hard way.
Yeah, I've said people can get really touchy about that sort of things, and yeah, and this is one of those shows too. It's not one of those fancy shows where it really it actually does grind people's gears, no pun intended. But I mean, this is just supposed to be kind of a more of a laid back. Hey, let's hang out, let's bring the cars out and have a little bit of fun.
Well, it is. That's number one, is about coming out with the cars and having fun. But in the process, we do it to raise money for both of our charities are for children. That's what I hashtag for the kids. I mean, we do Country Santa and our fall show, and we've joined up with the YMCA of Greenville this year and in the future to raise money for the YMCA to send a kid to Camp Greenville for summer camp, possibly more than one. We're going to shoot for more than one, but we want to pay for one full and then some partial scholarships, hopefully.
That's awesome. How did you guys get involved with the YMCA?
I reached out with an email because I wanted to help. I gave them a call and emailed them, and then they eventually emailed me back and said they'd love to work with me. They thought it was a great idea.
That's pretty cool. Now this is, in terms of the spring show, is this the first one?
This will be the first spring show at this location, not the first spring show for Corvettes at Keowee. It used to be at the Lighthouse Motel, I apologize, Lighthouse Restaurant in Seneca on Lake Keowee, but we've outgrown it. So I had a chance to move it to Seneca, and so I took the plunge, and it worked out.
Outgrowing, that's a nice problem to have, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Let's talk a little bit and kind of talk about past and future fall shows, and that's my understanding is the fall show is kind of what got everything started.
It is. We had close to 100 cars last year, even with threat of bad weather. It looked awful that morning. It really looked bad, but it turned out great. We had, like I said, close to 100 cars, and I can't tell you how many spectators, but it turned out to be a beautiful day, and everything went off without a hitch for our first one. I was very pleased.
Now, the fall one usually takes place about when?
We had the weather messed us up. So the hurricane, the hurricane's gotten us 2 years. I mean, it's happened to us twice. Generally, September, the weekend that is not the Clemson game. That's per our lead sponsor, that we cannot have the show on a Clemson ball game.
Yeah, understandable.
Well,
for many reasons.
I gave into that for him, but
Yeah, for many reasons. One, obviously, that might divert some people's attention, and two, you run into some traffic issues,
Yes, sir.
especially as you get into that part of the country or the state.
So there, like I said, September, early October, somewhere in there, September to 1st of October will be the fall one. It'll be announced way ahead of time.
And that too, obviously, we've got a charity involved.
Yes, that's Country Santa.
Right.
And I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but that is similar to Toys for Tots or some of those other things. But this fella does toys for people that are extremely poor and needy in the country, up in Oconee and Seneca and Pickens and up North Greenville. People that have nothing, he makes sure that those kids have a Christmas. And we were able to donate $2,200, I believe it was, last year to make some kids' Christmas brighter. And hopefully again this year we can double that.
Yeah, I've just popped up a picture of one of those toys, as a matter of fact. In fact, you guys on your Facebook page have plenty of information and also a lot of pictures for somebody who wants to know, kind of what these things are going to look at. Now, these are all from the fall show.
That's correct.
Right. So if there's anything, I'm just going to kind of thumb through. That's a nice aerial shot. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
have
and
the drone
that area that's under construction is going to be an amphitheater, and it should be done by the fall show, and hopefully we'll be able to utilize that and maybe having a live band and the awards there.
It's always a fun thing to look down these streets and just see all the different cars. What is the most popular generation in terms of in terms of numbers as cars show up?
Oh Lord, you got any idea about that?
So it's pretty it's pretty
spread
equal
out.
right
Yeah.
across the board. You got the C4s, you got a lot of the C6, but I'm seeing a lot of the C7s and the C8s showing up, which is really cool.
C1s are the ones that we don't generally have. I mean,
That's right.
a couple years in a row, we've only given away 2 trophies out of the 3. So C1s are kind of rare, and people don't generally get them out that much, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
we
they
have
should.
folks coming, they're trailering things from Georgia to come to this show. Yeah. We have a lot of involvement from even out of state to come, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that because just in my going to some shows and seeing some different vet clubs, you don't see many of the C1s or even the C2s, and there seems to be a lot, particularly in these clubs. You almost see more of the C8s at these club events than you actually do on the roads. It's everybody's kind of babying them and taking them out and showing them off, but I mean they're not getting out much.
Yeah,
I got mine to drive it.
that's right. Same here.
Yeah, that's one of the things too that we've found that you see kind of unanimously amongst these clubs. I mean, cars are meant to be driven. They're not meant to be just parked in the garage and not move, and it's not good for them to not move either.
No.
You got to keep the
Dry
parts moving.
Things dry rot and corrode. Grounds go bad, and they wonder why their lights don't work, or number of things.
Yeah, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Corvettes, the love of Corvettes, and just kind of a general background. And we'll also finish up with a little bit more and give you everybody a reminder of what's going on with the upcoming show in April with Corvettes at Keowee. Stay with Carolina Rides. We will be right back. Everybody, welcome back once again. We're with Pat Clark and Ron Gentry from Corvette Owners of Upstate South Carolina. Of course, we've been talking a lot about their Corvettes at Keowee shows. Let's kind of dive a little into some Corvette backgrounds with each of you. Pat, I guess we'll go ahead and start with you. What was your first Corvette? What generation? And what was really the instigator for you getting really involved in Corvettes?
Yeah, so my first Corvette is the C6 Z06. It started way back, actually. My first boss showed up to work one day with a C6, and I just fell in love with the C6 body, style. And I remember because he had 2 bottles of nitrous in the back of it, and that thing would move. But that was my first intro to Corvettes, and I love the feel of it. I love the look of it. And so, this was actually when I joined Corvettes of the Upstate, my buddy actually had 2 of them. And I was like, dude, he had a red one, it was black wheels, it had the carbon fiber ZR1 kit on it. And I was like, if you ever sell that, let me know. And he said, come get it. And that was it for me. That was it. So ended up getting my dream car. It was on my dream board. And yeah.
So you kind of already ate into my next question, but I'm going to go ahead and cover it anyway. You mentioned the dream car, but then you said the dream board.
Yes.
What else is out there that you might be thinking, that might be fun to have?
Yeah, so I am looking at the C8. The C8 looks really cool. I was able to ride in a couple of them, and I like the feel of it. I'm going to keep, obviously, the Z06 because that's my first dream car. But, yeah, there's a lot out there now, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just, when you look at these cars, it brings back memories. It brings back childhood memories, if you will. But, yeah, I think it's going to be probably the C8.
All right, Ron, same thing to you. What was your first Corvette love, I guess?
Well, like I said earlier, the day I was born, I think I was a Corvette guy. My father is probably the main reason. I had 3 uncles growing up that had Corvettes, and I'd ride in the back of them. Any excuse I could get to get in the car, I'd get in the car. I just always, I can't explain it, to be honest with you. And then 3-4 years ago, I had a chance, thanks to my wife, believe it or not, to own one, and that's where I'm at today. I've still got it.
Is there a particular vehicle that you would be looking at, if you could have, if everything broke right and it's like, hey, this could be yours, what would you want?
C7R. I think that's just one of the meanest looking Corvettes. It doesn't matter what color. Doesn't make a difference what color. But a C7R would be the one for me.
So now I'll have to be honest, I kind of came into the whole thing accidentally. I was actually at an event where there was it was actually an auto auction where there were other cars for on sale.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. And I was actually looking for a particular Pontiac Trans Am that somebody was bidding on, and it just took off. And I was like, he must really want that because that thing's not worth that much. So I went kind of back, and it was one of those auctions where a couple cars didn't meet reserve, and then there was a chance to pick them up afterwards. And I was just kind of flipping through all the different things that were out there and came across a red C5, and it was, and at the price, I'm like, how is this not given some love? So the next day I went and kind of did an inspection of it, had somebody else look at it, and I'm like, all right, we'll meet this guy halfway, and boom. And I ended up in the Corvette club, so to speak. I would guess if I had a dream vehicle, it would probably be in the C2 generation, one of those mid-year vets. And we start talking about, especially the 67 big block cars. Those are worth a ton, but that's why they're dreams, right?
They're gorgeous. All of them are, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, I know we had talked about some of the things that the club does and the shows and some of the things you guys are involved in. You guys take some trips to some places too, and I know there's one coming up in the Smokies coming up here shortly. Tell us a little bit about that and why that's such a magnet for Corvette owners in this part of the Southeast.
Well, it's called the Corvette Expo of Pigeon Forge. It's just a great show. They have close to 1,000 cars every year, and they have an indoor-outdoor show. They have VIP parking. They have VIP club parking, which allows your clubs to park together. They have a dragon cruise, and the fellow that runs the show, I just can't say enough about him. He supports our show and our club all the way down here in South Carolina, and they're in Pigeon Forge and Knoxville. It's just a whole weekend of fun. We're taking a group of people, like I said earlier, up on Wednesday, and we're going to stay the whole weekend and just enjoy the cars. And just, and also that show is also Chevy's in the Smoky. So if you're not just a Corvette person, you should come to it because it's Chevrolets and Corvettes all together. A lot of beautiful cars.
Now, you guys said you guys are riding up there. First off, about how big a group is that going to be? And the second follow-up question to that is, because I know some people, they've got their cars, and we talked about a little, the cars are meant to drive, and some people want to baby theirs. I mean, is anybody towing up?
There's a few guys, but not going with us. They'll be trailering their cars.
That's right.
They can't go with us. But I do have a fella, and I'm not sure where he's from, but he just messaged me last night and asked me to make sure that we had trailer parking for his C2 that he was bringing to our show. So there's people that trailer them to Tennessee, especially. They're going to have the cars indoors are going to be your trailered cars. They have a lot.
Yeah.
If that's what you're referring to, the Tennessee show.
Yeah.
Our show has them as well, just not as many.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about you guys taking up to Tennessee, and also with the Tennessee show. Obviously, that is more of a regional draw. What makes it, other than the fact that its location is where it is, and that happens to be a big drawing place for a lot of people? What just makes that so special for everybody who's interested in Corvettes?
I think it's just the dragon. The dragon attracts people. I know car guys. They look on anything on Facebook. You're always seeing posts of people doing the dragon, beating the dragon, whipping the dragon, whatever they want to call it. But it's an experience. It's even more fun when you do it with 300 and 400 Corvettes. It's not a race. We're just at a nice big parade line going up, and we get to the top. Everybody parks, socializes, hangs out a little bit, goes in the store, and then it's back down. Mm-hmm. Back down's more fun than going up. It's a lot louder and it sounds better.
It always is. You ever, when doing that run, obviously if you're going as a group, it probably makes it a little bit more difficult for some interlopers to kind of get in your way. Have you ever run into any problems with other people who just happen to be out that day, and it's like, well, now they're causing us some problems?
Well, not on the way up usually, because they do it at such a time on Thursday, so the traffic's not as bad. We do it, I think it's I want to say they have it at 3:30 in the afternoon. So most people are gone home for the day. The young, the speed racers or whatnot, they got all their stuff out of their system and they've gone home. And it's actually pretty laid back. It's a nice ride.
Yeah. I was just looking on their website, and they had over 400 cars showing up there, and they're hoping to beat that this year. So that was really cool to see. But, for me, it's like, it's the drive up there, it's the views, there's a lot going on there. And at this event, it's one of the largest events, and we get lifelong friends at these events, right? Because when you show up to this, it's car enthusiasts. And we all love, the cars. And it's like you meet new people, but you feel like you've known them for years. And so it's really cool to be a part of it and have our group there, our club there, because we're meeting other clubs, other people, and then, we're supporting them. And like Ron was saying, they're posting our stuff, we're posting their stuff. And I know for me, I'm bringing my family. I got 4 kids, and so they love Corvettes. I know my 17-year-old daughter, she loves the C4. And so we're just going to be out there having a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun for us to get out there and see many cars, many, many cars.
And we're talking a little bit about the Dragon. Now this is the shameless self-plug for something else the show has already done. Either of you have either of you ridden the Chevrolet Skyway?
Do you know, I think part of that, it may be on the route going to that. I'm not sure that I've done the whole thing. I went from, we go through Wares Valley all the way to the store at the top of the Dragon, or the middle. I'm not sure if that's even the end of it. And then we've always just turned around and went back. So I don't think I have.
Yeah, for those who are watching who may not know, if you go back on the YouTube channel, we did an interview with Larry Webster. He is the editor for the Haggerty Drivers Club magazine. Haggerty, of course, one of the major classic car insurers, and they named that road, which runs from Robbinsville, North Carolina to Tellico Plain, Tennessee. They named that as their most recent road of the year. And it's not, if somebody's looking for a lot of twists and turns and tight turns and crazy corners, it's not quite that. There are some, but it's more of just kind of an open vista, sweeping, broader curves, something that really allows you to just kind of not only enjoy the scenery, but kind of really open up the car a little bit, so that the speed going through there is a little bit more quick, and at the same time, a safer speed to go that quick too, because you're not dealing with some of the zigs and zags. And I beg you guys and anybody else to go ahead and check that out. My first trip up there was actually during the pandemic, when everybody was doing staycations, and I took, because I didn't want to abuse any of my own cars, I rented a Camaro and went up there and had a great time.
That's awesome.
All right, one more time because we can. I'm going to pop up some pictures here. Let's go through one more time for those who are interested in the Corvettes at Keowee show. It's just kind of that thumbnail sketch. Repeat what we talked about earlier, what they need to know, what they're going to see, and when it is.
Well, it's going to be April 18th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Door prizes, 50-50 raffle, good food, great music, good people. Just come have fun, hang out with us, listen to music, and enjoy yourself. The family's welcome, kids, everybody's welcome. I mean, 18 to 80, everybody. It does not matter who you are. It's free to come look. It's a $25 fee to enter your car, but that money goes to, like I said, that goes to benefit the YMCA and putting the child through summer camp at Camp Greenville. And that's our main goal over everything else. But having fun is second.
I think raising the money and doing this, and it all goes in one. It's all having fun. Pat and Ron, I want to thank you guys for coming out and talking about the club, talking about Corvettes at Keowee, both the spring and the fall shows. Wish you well with the spring show. Hopefully I can get out there. We'll see what the weather does. That'll have some say on that. And again, really appreciate you guys being here.
Well, I appreciate you having us, and thank you for letting us be here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dan.
All right, thanks again, and thanks to you for watching this episode of Carolina Rides. We'll see you next time. Until then, drive safely. Take care.